Well, thank you for joining me today. I got a pretty interesting thought this morning to share with you. It's called Have a Listening Ear. Have a listening ear. Proverbs 1, 5 through 8 says, A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. So it says here that the writer of Proverbs is saying, listen, hear and listen. Do you know that the Bible has the word listen 550 times? So that's how much God wants us to listen. And one of the things that I want to share with you, I have three thoughts to share with you about listening, but one of the thoughts is when you listen, you respond. When if I'm talking to somebody and they're just sort of looking at me blank, zoning out on me, so to speak, or freezing up because they don't want to hear what I got to say, that doesn't make me feel like they're listening. One of the things that I started doing, and I do it a little too much, I think I'm a little too aggressive about it, I'll be honest with you about that, but is when I'm listening, I shake my head. I want the person to know I'm with them. So when you listen, you respond. The second thing I want you to realize is when you listen, you are moved to action. Like when you listen to somebody talk to you about a situation, if you really listen and you care about that person, you're going to do something about it. Like when my children come to me about a situation, as soon as they tell me, I say, well, what can we do to help? What can we do to help fix this? And if they want me to do some action, I'm going to do it. If they don't want me to do some action, I'm not going to do it. If they just want me to pray about it, that's an action that I can do. I can pray about that. So when you listen, you're moved to action. The third thing that I'd like you to realize is sometimes when you're preoccupied, you have to teach somebody how to get your attention so you can listen. Now, this is one of the biggest points that I want to give you because I don't know if you're like me, but I get pretty zeroed in on what I'm doing, zoned in on what I'm doing. And I can't tell you how much I'm sitting at my computer working, and one of my children will be talking to me, and all of a sudden they say, Mom, did you hear me? And I'll say, no, I didn't hear you. I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention. I heard noise, but I didn't hear. I said, I'm so sorry. Then there's times when I'm talking and the other person starts to make a comment, and sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes my lip quivers. I'm so anxious to talk and give a little comment. But sometimes when you do that to the person, they feel like you're not listening to them. So one of the things that I've asked my people around me to do to help me to listen is I'll ask them to make sure they get my attention first. Now, can I be honest with you? When my children were young, I always made sure I had their attention. One of the things that I did was I had them look at me, to make sure that I had their full undivided attention. I remember many times when I'd say, look at me, and the boys they'd look at me for a second and then look off to the side. I don't know if it was on purpose or if they were just trying to prove to me they'd look, but they didn't want to keep looking. I don't know what it was. But listening is an on-purpose action. And to all of you out there that are a big talker like me, you got to learn how to listen more. And for those of you that are good listeners but you don't respond, I'm just going to encourage you to respond in some way or another, hopefully in a positive way. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice.